Hi everybody, I'd like to share with you a short message from this week's portion, the portion of Shmini. In this week's portion, towards the end, at chapter 11, we read about the kosher animals, kosher fish, and kosher birds, and the signs, symbols that defines an animal or a creature kosher. When it comes to the animals, what defines them as kosher are two. One is that it's true it's cut, and the second is that the animal has split hooves at the hooves. The Torah then lists very few animals which possess only one of the symbols, either split hooves but not true in its cut, or true its cut but does not possess split hooves. And the Torah tells us that it's not kosher. One of them that's singled out by the Torah is the pig. And I would like to read to you this text from the book regarding the pig. It's verse 7 in chapter 11 of the book of Leviticus. The Torah says the following: the pig, because it has a split hoof, which is completely split, but does not chew the cud, it is impure for you. So I want to spend a moment or two about the pig, because over the years, the Jewish people have developed great hatred and stay away as far as they can from a pig. In fact, in Jewish tradition and among people who follow tradition, we do not call a pig by its real name pig, but we call it Dvar Acher, or in Yiddish we call it Dvar Acher. Dvar Acher means something else, something strange. The Talmud itself, referring to that animal, again, does not use the real name pig, but uses Dvar Acher, something else. That's how much we despise this animal, that we don't even use the real name of it when referring to it. In fact, the Talmud teaches us that the rabbis have made a decree that no one should raise pigs in Israel, just so we distance ourselves from it, from consumption of the pig as far as we can. And in Israel today, in modern day Israel today, it is against the law to raise pigs. The Or HaChaim, one of the greatest commentators to the Torah, when speaking or writing about this week's portion about the pig, he writes that the pig is not kosher, is temporarily, but in the future when Messiah arrives, when Mashiach will come, the pig will turn into a kosher animal. Of course, people are asking many questions. How is it possible that the pig will become kosher when the Torah says it's not kosher? It's not kosher. In addition, if we want to be kind to animals and make them kosher when Mashiach comes, what's wrong with other animals? Either open up the gate for every animal, non-kosher animal to become kosher, and if you pick only one as a representative to make it kosher, you may as well pick another animal that is a little kinder and not so despised by the Jewish people throughout ages. The Or HaChaim himself answered this question by saying that the pig will change its nature and will start chewing its cud. In other words, it says the Torah will never change. When the Torah says that a pig is not kosher because it has split hooves but does not chew its cud, that will stay forever. However, when Mashiach will arrive, says the Or HaChaim, the pig's nature will change and suddenly will have a chew its cud, an extra stomach being created for him, and therefore automatically it becomes kosher because it qualifies for the two signs. But I want to show you what the Rebbe explains. The Rebbe explains that the two signs, split hooves and chew its cud, represent two faculties of a human. The split hooves represent the feet. The legs are a symbol of action. It's about doing. The chew its cud is in the head, in the mouth. It represents the brains, the thinking process, the rationalization of things. Says the Rebbe that an animal or a human, in the spirituality, it represents the soul of a human being. When you have a human being, a person who has split hooves, that in action they are doing what's right, they follow Jewish tradition, they follow the tradition by putting on tefillin, and the women light Shabbat candles before sunset, and they make sure to study Torah with their children, and they make sure to stick to kosher dietary laws, even if they are not having true it's God. Even if in their minds they don't agree, they have many questions, they don't think it's the right thing to do, we have nothing to worry, because at the end of the day they will all become okay, kosher, and the future generations will follow suit in their Jewish traditions, bringing pleasure to God. And the reason for it is, there are many reasons, but the obvious one is, when it's about the brains, about the faculty of intellect of a human being, it is subject to the human being. My way of understanding something is different than someone else's. My way of understanding something today is not necessarily I will agree with or understand and agree with and accept tomorrow or next year or the next generation or in 20 years when things are changing. But when it comes to action, we all perform the same action, and as long as we agree to follow God's commandments in action, we are serving God just like Moses did, my great-grandparents, my parents, myself, and everyone else who agreed to follow. Therefore, if someone don't agree in intellect, in his mind, in not fully comprehension everything that God is asking for and why, but still it says, if God said so, I have to follow, we are guaranteed that he will turn out okay. We're guaranteed that he will be rewarded and bring pleasure to God. And that's what the spirituality of the pig means, according to the Rebbe, and that's why it's singled out in the Torah, the only animal that will have split hooves but do not chew its cud. Throughout history, there is no other animal such, and that's why this is the only animal that chosen. And the Or HaChaim says that one day, when Mashiach will arrive, will turn to be okay, will turn to be kosher, as mentioned before. The split hooves representing action. If we concentrate on the action, we are assured to be turning okay and doing the right thing. I want to conclude by wishing each one of you Shabbat Shalom. May we share good and happy tidings from each other, and may we meet again in person soon. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.